It's an Ankh.
You should have asked.
What is it? It's an Ankh.
You should have asked.
Oh, an Ankh. Yes, an ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic. I definitely heard Ankh, like as an uncle. That'd be weird. We're on episode 8 of season 3 of Are You Afraid of the Dark? The Tale of the Guardian's Curse. A story that's going to be told by Gary's younger brother, Tucker. And the show starts off with Tucker causing chaos. That's what he does. He's the youngest of this Midnight Society, and also the most annoying. So he's running around this clearing, Gary's chasing him. He bumps into Sam, she drops some firewood, and we see that the reason Tucker is running around because he stole Gary's Ankh, which apparently is a necklace. I'm sure a magic necklace because Gary loves magic. It's an ancient symbol that means life. And he starts his story. This is going to be our first mummy story. And because Are You Afraid of the Dark likes to throw curveballs, you don't exactly get a by-the-numbers mummy story where he just comes alive and tries to kill people. Tucker throws dust on the campfire, starts the tale of the Guardian's Curse. And we do get some nice scenery. We're at the basement of an ancient history museum. And we see some light construction going on. And the series hides its low budget well. Because of course they don't have enough money to show them tearing down this museum. So they'll just do very close shots of a pickaxe. Then they did manage to find a bulldozer that's running through the background. And these people are tearing down this wall. And they find, after they tear down the wall, that it's a tomb of an ancient mummy. And then it cuts to the two main characters, Josh and Cleo Dugan. And their father is Professor Dugan. And they go with their father to this museum to figure out this ancient mummy that they found and what exactly are its secrets. Their father mentions it's from the Egyptian Temple of Light, which was robbed in 1921. And it contains the mummified remains of Mina, the Guardian, who's an Egyptian goddess. And she had a ring of eternity. Man, she has all sorts of magic that could bring forth life. But she also has the ability to turn people she doesn't like into stone. This is a DJ McHale episode, which is also directed by DJ McHale, but I really don't think it's one of his best. This guy is really being stretched thin in this series. He's either writing or directing more than half of these episodes, and I think this one falls apart because of it. This mummy doesn't exactly come back to life. You think it's going to, but they just kind of wander around the museum. They look at the mummy. We're told about this Guardian's Curse, where people are killed and tortured if they disturb this mummy. And so while they do find a ring and a vial, the elixir of life and the ring of eternity, this mummy does not seem very excited to get these items back. They wander around the museum because the real villain in this episode is a guy by the name of Dr. Capel Smith. He was the guy who found this mummy's tomb, and he himself wants to get this vial and ring of eternity so that he can have eternal life. So we never actually get to see the mummy. We get an appearance of a girl right at the end. Dr. Capel Smith confronts the kids and tells them to give the vial and the ring. And of course they give it to him, and it ends up turning him into stone. After all, stone statues do tend to last for eternity. And then we see a girl at the end. And the mummy is really just a beautiful girl, and she's not evil at all. She's now her original self as the Egyptian queen. And that's it. This is a pretty poor Are You Afraid of the Dark? I'm going to give it a 3 out of 10. They tried to do something different with the mummy story because you think the mummy's going to come alive, and it really doesn't. It's this other guy who's running around trying to get immortality for himself, and then when the mummy does appear, it's just a girl. But that's where this episode falters. If you're not going to do the mummy coming alive, you have to have a better storyline than just having the doctor who found the mummy's tomb really be the villain all along. I mean, this comes off like a Scooby-Doo mystery. It wasn't really the ancient Egyptian mummy, it was the professor the entire time. Luckily, the episode after this, the Curious Camera, is going to be much better. Something happened here. There's potential. I think the locations are very good. They obviously shot this in an actual museum, so props for them for getting that location. But just having kids running around the hallways, hearing noises, never seeing any type of mummy, and seeing some doctor at the end who turns into stone is not really that engaging. However, this is going to be the only mummy story we get from Are You Afraid of the Dark? So if we really need some ancient Egyptian curses, well, this is it.
Yeah. Isn't that worth letting him borrow it?
I guess the story was pretty good. Little Toad still has my Ankh.
Crazy Tucker running off into the woods with Gary's Ankh, little amulet around his neck. I also noticed in this Midnight Society, they always like the story. Every time the story ends and they cut back to the clearing for the last 2 minutes of the episode, they all look around impressed. I think Sam's probably the best at it. She's like, oh my goodness, that was so amazing. Like, come on, one day they gotta go, hey, that story kind of sucks. But no, Nothing but positivity in this series. Even though the story wasn't the best, the two main characters were just very similar to each other. There wasn't much defining features between these two. So the boy character, Josh Dugan, was played by Danny Copesy, who's in Terminator 2. No, it's not Edward Furlong, he played Tim. He's also in 26 episodes of Salute Your Shorts. Bobby Budnick. Oh, it's a blast from the past. It's one about the camp, right? And 48 episodes of Different Strokes. Sam McKinney. He just has one of those faces. I've seen that face before. You don't know the actor's name until you look it up. You definitely recognize him from something. And his sister, Cleo Dugan, was played by Vanessa King, who was in the hit early 2000 show Edmont. 69 episodes as Anika. And we're going to see her in another episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, Season 4, Episode 10, Tale of the Fire Ghost as Roxy. And then we get to the most mysterious actress, Maya Rubahaya, who played Mina, the goddess. Well, she just shows up at the end. She's technically the mummy. She has no speaking parts, by the way. She just stands there and looks nice. And this is her only acting credit. So you might think there's not that much information about her online, right? Wrong. There's a ton of information about her. I don't know what's going on. She's got a whole freaking biography. She's got trivia about her. If you want to learn how to belly dance, you can go to her Instagram. This is her only acting credit, but man, she has capitalized on it. Her biography starts, Maya began belly dancing at a very early age. In fact, as soon as she learned how to walk. Who wrote this? Her creepy neighbor? How do you belly dance at 2? And apparently she attended McGill University. And she was a freshman when she was in this episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark. So I think I know what happened. I think DJ McHale just said, we need some Egyptian chick, and we're in Canada. Just go to one of the universities, pick someone who looks vaguely Egyptian, and tell her to come on the show. That's exactly what I think happened. And now she works for a dance chamber, and is still dancing to this day. So good job, Maya. Capitalize on that one role. I'm here for it. We got some trivia, some of it obvious. Cleo is short for Cleopatra. It's also the name of an ancient Egyptian queen. You know, I usually miss the references, but even I got that one. And at the bottom says Daniel DeSanto, that'd be Tucker, the guy who told this story, who is starting to grow on me. The fact that he just annoys Gary every single episode, and Gary's the straight man, he's kind of the uptight, geeky kid, I think is actually pretty funny. And you can see that Gary regrets having Tucker join this Midnight Society. I mean, why not just choose someone your own age? Don't choose your bratty little brother, come on. But he would go on to do another Mummy episode of Goosebumps called Return of the Mummy, which we will cover the Goosebumps series after Are You Afraid of the Dark is over, so probably later this year. Next up is episode 9, The Tale of the Curious Camera, a much better episode. The very first Polaroid type camera that existed in the 1940s, and when you take pictures of things, well, they start to get destroyed. And also check out our playlist for the other series that we're covering. We're doing Black Mirror, Mystery Science Theater 3000, every single episode of Are You Afraid of the Dark, Twilight Zone, Monsters, and Fear Itself. Thanks a lot.